Greetings everyone! Welcome to my review of Sonic Universe issue 24 and the final part of Treasure Team Tango. Where we last left off, Team Rose and Team Dark called a temporary truce in order to track down Team Hooligan and the Soul Emerald. During this journey, Amy and later Blaze pushed Shadow's guilt button. The Hooligans had their own problem when the Babylon Rogues entered the picture. However, once Teams Rose and Dark arrived, it's clear to everyone that when it comes to the Soul Emerald, it's every team for themselves. In this corner, we have Team Rose, who wants the Soul Emerald to save Blaze's world. In the other corner, we have Team Dark, who want the Emerald for Gun. In the, third corner is Team Hooligan, who wants the Emerald for their own profit. And in the final corner, I guess, is the Babylon Rogues, who also want to profit off the Emerald. Let's get ready to tango! It's an all-out free-for-all between the teams. The only ones not in the fight are Cream and Cheese. Her mom would not approve of such action. However, after seeing Amy and Blaze risking their lives for the Emerald, she decides to do the right thing, even if it's not the proper thing. Good thing too, as she prevents Knack from blasting Amy, as revenge for what happened in issue 188. Team Rose needs a quick breather, so Blaze surrounds them with a burning ring of fire. She apologizes to Amy and Cream for dragging them into this mess. They respond with, "There's nothing to apologize for. They'll finish this together." With renewed confidence, they head back into the fight. Amy beelines for Shadow, saying it's do or die time. Will you blindly follow the orders of a powerful organization, or will you think for yourself and do the right thing? That sounds familiar. We'll get back to it. Jet snatches the emerald from under Knack's hat and is ready to leave. Shadow, having made his choice, we'll get to that. Chaos controls up to Jet's board to claim the emerald and knock him off. He then loses it thanks to extreme gear collision to the head. Ouch. Before Omega can claim it, Amy intercepts. She hands it over to Blaze. Finally, she actually touches the emerald. Bean has something for Blaze, only for the Fire Master to instantly turn the bomb into a dud. We then get 2 pages of Bean breaking down into a monologue about how the bomb's potential was literally snuffed, and he tries to come up with a name for it. You cannot make this stuff up. I mean, wow. I admit, I did get a chuckle out of this. What helps is, in the background, the fight for the Soul Emerald devolves into cartoon violence. Amy and Rouge realize nobody's winning right now, so they decide to work together to deal with the Hooligans and the Babylon Rogues. Team Dark and Team Rose begin corralling the other 2 teams together, the former handling the Rogues, the latter the Hooligans. Once that's done, Blaze reactivates Bean's bomb, much to Bean's joy and horror for everyone else. And with that, these 2 teams are done. They survive, of course. They have Sega plot armor after all. Wave drags Jet, who still wants to fight, away from the battle. She doesn't want to risk their blimp getting destroyed, and she's mad about all the repairs she'll have to make to their extreme gear. Plus, based on earlier dialogue during the fight, Storm didn't think the situation's fun anymore. Likewise, Bart carries an unconscious Knack away, while giving a disappointing look towards Bean. Bean doesn't care. He's just happy that Jamie Kendall Duckworthington III, the name he gave the dud bomb, fulfilled its destiny. In the aftermath of the explosion, Blaze reclaims the emerald. Even after all of that, Rouge still wants it. Anyone surprised? Finally, Shadow puts his foot down and says, "No, let Blaze have it." His reasoning is sound, and it's something I said earlier in the arc. Without Blaze, Gun wouldn't have their 2 Chaos Emeralds. So he's returning the favor. He's prepared to fight Rouge over this, and Omega backs up Shadow, mainly because he doesn't want to make Cream cry again. He's learned his lesson. Outnumbered, Rouge begrudgingly gives up. As they leave, Shadow says she needs to put her cunning skills to the test when they eventually confront the Gun Commander. With that, Team Rose is the victor. Was there any doubt? However, things turn bittersweet as Blaze now has to depart back to her dimension to track down the remaining 5 Soul Emeralds. She says her goodbyes to the girls, promising to let them know if she succeeds in her quest. and so she teleports away, hoping she doesn't run into any zone cops en route. Later at Freedom HQ, Amy and Cream tell Vanilla of their adventure. Despite appearances, Vanilla's taking this surprisingly well, all things considered. Seeing her daughter alive and well definitely helped. While Amy explains that Cream has potential as a future freedom fighter, she just remembered something. Something that I purposely skipped 2 issues earlier. During the fight with Team Dark in the ravine, Amy accidentally dropped Nicole. As of the end of this issue, she's still there. As to why she couldn't sync up with Freedom HQ's or New Mobiletropolis's computers, out of universe, it's meant for comedy. In universe, you could say bad Wi-Fi connection due to being in a ravine. Don't worry, Nicole will be saved off panel. I mean, nothing's going to happen to her handheld, am I right? The title for the final part is called the Parada, or the Stop. To elaborate, it's any stopping action in any direction. I believe I don't need to explain any further. Team Hooligan and the Babylon Rogues ultimately served as obstacles for the other 2 teams. In the Babylon Rogues case, it's because they arrived relatively late to the conflict, and it's to show that they are thieving rivals to the Hooligans. Now, if you're not a fan of the Rogues, at least you'll get some satisfaction of them getting knocked down several pegs. For those who are fans, and I know they exist somewhere, if you think they didn't get the justice they deserve, there will be a Sonic Universe arc down the line that will feature them. The Hooligans have the advantage of being comic relief. Nax always complaining about people wrecking his bike and trying not to get hit, though in the end, he's knocked out by the bomb blast. Well, as far as we know, his bike is fine. Bark remains the strong silent type, but there are times his looks speak louder than words. His disappointing look, for example, screams to me, "You idiot, why do I have to put up with you?" Bean himself? Well, he's Bean. I don't believe I need to elaborate more than that. I will add that he can display more emotions than that of wacky cartoon. Perhaps he can display some cunning in the future. Okay, let's move on to the characters that actually matter in this arc. I still hate this version of Rouge. Yeah, I know, shocking. I'm aware that one of her characteristics in the franchise is her love of jewels, and she did try to steal the Master Emerald in Sonic Adventure 2. But here, even after being told over and over that the Soul Emerald is needed to save Blaze's world, she still wants it in the end. Maybe for Gun, or maybe for herself. Even after temporarily aligning herself and Team Dark with Team Rose to solve a bigger issue. Twice. She only gave up because her other 2 teammates sided with Team Rose against her. Omega proves that you can be a weapon of mass destruction on the outside and a big softie on the inside. Best exemplified with his attitude towards Cream in this issue. Maybe he should form a club with Doomguy or something. Also, his awkward goodbye to his crush Blaze. I can picture him saying, "Can I have your contact information, destructive cat lady?" Then there's Shadow. Many of us, like Amy, were hoping he would do the right thing in the end. And he did. He was conflicted throughout the arc, whether or not to complete his mission for Gun, or let Blaze have the Emerald. What finally pushed him towards the latter decision is Amy's speech during the big fight. It's reminiscent of the time Shadow tried to convince Metal Sonic to break off from Eggman and think for yourself back in issue 1, to not be a slave to an organization. Sure, Gun is not as bad as the Eggman Empire, but they tend to dip themselves into the gray area more often than, say, the Freedom Fighters. Shadow himself worked for Eggman until he learned his true purpose and willingly joined Gun afterwards. He will work for them, but when confronted with something that could mean the difference between life and death, he will do the right thing, even if it means disobeying Gun's orders. This act allows Blaze to share Amy's opinion on Shadow, that he can be counted on when it matters. Speaking of the Firecat, her trust in Amy helped solidify her trust in Sonic and the Freedom Fighters in general. She's learned to open up a little more, and while she may encounter shady individuals in the future, she can find comfort in that she made 2 solid friends after today. Possibly 3 if you include Cheese. There's nothing I can say about Amy that I haven't already said in this arc. I should note that she has the potential to be a leader in her own right thanks to this arc. Amy leading some kind of resistance group against Eggman. Nah, that'll never happen. At least not here. Cream is a relative newbie compared to her other selves in other media. She's learning that while some actions aren't polite, it's also the right thing to do. So basically a G-rated version of Shadow's dilemma. Her politeness isn't completely gone. While the rest of her team and Team Dark were forcing the hooligans and the rogues together, she simply guided Bean and his dud bomb to their explosive fate. Amy said herself, Cream has great potential. We'll see if it comes to pass later on. Final score for this issue is an 8. Overall, a satisfying conclusion to this fun arc, and that's what Treasure Team Tango was in the end. Fun. Admittedly, it started off slow, but once it got going, it was a ride until the end, while still having room for character moments. You can tell that Ian and Tracy were enjoying themselves with this one. With that said, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. I don't care what you say to Knack here, Amy. Getting hit in the groin, no matter how hard, will always hurt. Trust me.